Anyway, guys, what we're backtesting today is the same thing that we've been backtesting for the past at least like 4 or 5 sessions. We are backtesting the 4-hour expansion model. The idea is as such, our framework is going to be based on previous day high and previous day low. From that range, we are marking up OTE as well as fixed range volume profile, and then we're going to mark the PDAs within that OTE. More than likely the 1 hour PD arrays, unless there's like obvious 5-minute PD arrays. The model that we're executing therein is a Q3 5-minute change in state of delivery, which creates a manipulation zone. We're looking for displacement out of that zone. Once we have that, we are then marking the PD arrays and OTE within that displacement. We wait for a return to the zone, and then we're entering the trade at OTE levels 0.5, 0.618, 0.705, 0.79 retracement levels, and then in the form of entries SBS 245, and we are catching that trade for the 4-hour candle standard deviation. So if you look at where the quarters align with the 4-hour candles, there's usually a Q3 at the beginning of a 4-hour candle, or near the beginning of the 4-hour candle, and we are simply using the Q3 manipulation that's happening near the beginning of the 4-hour candle to facilitate catching a trade in the direction of that 4-hour candle expansion. Alright, so the rules apply as such for trade management. We are just trailing our stops once 1.5 SD occurs. If 1.5 SD is reached before we have a return to the manipulation, that invalidates the trade. Now, something that we've been struggling with over the past few sessions, which I have not uploaded, at least I think I have like 4 or 5 videos that I need to upload from the previous sessions, but something we've been struggling with is like when to take the trade, right? So because we're only taking Q3 manipulations, we have to remember that as we're moving through price action, to not accidentally take a Q1 manipulation, for example, or a Q2, Q4 manipulation. We are focusing specifically on Q3 manipulations. We can take a trade out of or during any quarter. We just cannot take a trade that's originating from a Q1, Q2, Q4 manipulation zone, which you'll have an idea if you click through the charts, or once we start moving through price action today, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, another thing is that I was at first only limiting the trades to 2 to 6, 6 to 10, and 10 to 2 p.m. candles. However, because I'm already limiting the trades to Q3 manipulations, I am now making the change that we will take all of the candles. So we will take any opportunity that is stemming from a Q3 manipulation, because there are a lot of Asia range trades happening from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. that are originating from the PM session Q3 manipulation. And we don't want to miss those opportunities, especially because, again, we've just limited to Q3 only, okay? So there's probably like, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 trades that we missed in this price action above here, or before this date, because we weren't taking part in the Asia price action. It's all good. We're really only aiming for about 1 trade per day, and so far we've gotten that. So we have one on Thursday, we have one on Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So even though there would have been more than likely more opportunities, we're looking good still. This is basically this is the framework that we're working with so far. So we're tracking all the things you normally would from a trade: the position, the time, how long we're in it. We're also tracking the 4-hour candle that we're executing that trade in, what quarter the entry is happening in, what PD array we are in for that entry, what OTE level, and then what SBS entry. These are all entry related parameters. And then we are also tracking whether 5 is sweeping 4, or if it's a failure swing of 4, which is why it says sweep or failure. And then along with that entry criteria, this is all here requirements, right? But these are just the variables that we are tracking to see, you know, if it lends more data. We are also tracking which macro we are entering in for that trade. Now, targeting wise, we are only targeting SD levels. We're not targeting like SBS 3 or anything like that. I actually clarified that with Adrian on Thursday, if you guys were there for that stream. So I asked him, you know, are we just targeting SBS 3 or are we really targeting the standard deviations? He clarified that he is sticking to the standard deviations. So we are just aiming for the standard deviation that's right outside of SBS 3, for example. And if you guys need more clarification on that, I can go through that. But this is basically anything that's checked here, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, these are all wins. Anything that is checked for on the stop loss or break even, technically losses. Obviously break even is break even, but the stop loss are the actual losses. So let me unlock this really quick. So far, and it is taking quite a while to get through each rep, but with that being said, everyone that has attended so far previous sessions, we all seem to be enjoying the pace of the backtest. And so 38% loss so far. We are all enjoying going through the model thoroughly and understanding it as well. So let me just take a look at these reps really quick. I think this was a rep. I think these reps I was leaving open until I got clarification from Adrian. So I just want to check why I didn't check if they were break even or if we hit profit. Okay. I see. So these are technically profit as well. We just did not hit SBS 1.5. So I actually have to add a box here then. So I'm going to put let's put a $sign because we were in profit, but we didn't hit one of these standard deviations. And then the reason we ended the trade was because we closed for end of day. All right, so let me just pop these on as well. Percent checked. All right, so after that lengthy explanation, does anyone have any questions now before we actually start getting into reps? Thank you to everyone that has joined. Thank you for taking time out on your Saturday to be here. It means a lot to me. A lot of people said they wanted it on Saturday, or they wanted the Saturday sessions, but I still have a very low attendance rate, which is disappointing for me because I could also be living my best life on Saturdays. All right, so the last rep we tracked was on January 8th. We ended this trade at 2 a.m. So that is where I have brought us to on the chart, January 8th at 2 a.m. I'll just put a marker here so that we know what date it is. And let's go back and mark the zones that we have so far. So I don't think we closed this one yet, from what I recall in our last session. Okay, so we did just close above it. Just closed this manipulation range here. So we have Q3 from the PM session. Although we did not confirm it until London Q1. So I'm gonna put Q1 London for now. Alright, and then we do have this Q3 that is holding. So the reason I'm calling it Q3 is because it's when we confirmed it. So we have this Q3 Asia. And I think that's all we have so far. We have this one way up here as well, just for context. Q3 PM session. All right, so again, the framework of it is we are using previous day high, previous day low. We are marking the fixed volume range profile within this range. As you can see, I already have the indicator marking out OTE. So EQ is up here, 0.618 is up here. Oh, I need to adjust this. I don't know why this is set this way. 0.705 also set here. So we are looking to get within this range. Let's jump up to our 1 hour. There's an obvious clear SIBI here within our OTE zone. So I will just pull this out. OTO zone being anywhere from 0.618 to 0.79. Okay. So basically, the story is as such with the framework that we've mapped out is we're looking to get into OTE of previous day high, previous day's range to get a continuation short. So we've expanded up and hopefully we get some sort of, let me see the lowest manipulation so far. This is the lowest one technically that happened right at the open. So this is a Q1 manipulation or a Q1 deviation that we haven't violated yet. Of course, we won't take any trades out of this, but this manipulation so far is holding. 5 deviations would bring us above EQ. 4.5 lines up with EQ, of course, but we are looking to get into OTE hopefully. And then once we get into OTE, we are looking for some sort of SBS to form out of here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something along the lines of that for lower. So if it doesn't happen during London, then possibly New York. And then likewise, we want an SBS to send us in that direction as well. Let's see if we already have one that I haven't noticed. So here we have 1, 2, 3. We have no sweep of 2 yet. So 4, 5 could be something that plays out if it comes out of this zone. So for the zones that don't matter, I won't label them essentially. I'll just have them up so I know where the trade is originating from or what zone we're trading out of or around. But we're only focused on Q3 trades. I actually can't remember if we played through all this price action or not. I have a feeling we did. I think we played through the entire day already and we might already be onto Thursday's price action, but I can't recall, to be honest. So I'm just going to play through it as if, we are still trying to track data on this. But I do believe what I recall is that we did finish this price action and I'm just not remembering exactly. Hold on a second. Okay, this is this daily open. Okay, I think I recall now. So what's going to happen? We'll see. Let me go back to here really quick and make sure it's not this. Yeah. Okay. I think this day, if for those of you that were here in the last session, I think this day closes early and we couldn't figure out why. I'm just going to play it through really quick to make sure it's not this day, or to confirm or deny that it is not this day. Okay, it's not this day, clearly. Okay. Yeah, we're getting all the price action. Okay, never mind. Apologies. Let's go back to here. There was a day in price action where the price action closed early and we could not figure out why it closed early, looking back at the calendar. Close that too. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it was a bug with TradingView at that point. All right, so okay, so we tap this manipulation zone again. We're not going to take any trades out of here. This is the sweep of 2 that we were looking for the 4-5 entry. Out of this zone again, we can't take it, so I'm just going to play through that. Now, if we get another Q3 manipulation here, then we can take the trade out of this Q3 zone. 1, 2. I do recall this. 3, 4. But okay, so 5 and 6. Okay, so this SBS is complete. So this is what I was looking at. We have 1 breaking out of the zone, 2 pullback, 3 with the lowest low. Then we come back up and we sweep 2, 4, 5, and then 6 sweeps 3. So this SBS is complete here. I don't recall if we tracked this trade, or maybe we didn't take the trade. I think we took a vote of who would be trading that. We're here now in 2 a.m., so I'm just gonna let it play through. So we're waiting for a Q3 manipulation to be confirmed from here. So if we have a manipulation down, we can take it. If we have this one here confirmed during Q3. All right, so from this possible manipulation going higher, the reason why higher is plausible to us is because, again, we're looking to get into the OTE zone. So OTE zone being between 4 to 4.5 deviations for the final target. This is plausible, or this is what we want to see. However, in order for us to take the trade, we do need to see displacement out of the zone. In this price action so far, there's no displacement. There's no clear displacement. This was already, once we had this fair value gap, it was returned to, and then it expanded upward, but there are no new fair value gaps after that, and we also have not flipped the zone so far. So the next low that would need to be closed for a change of state delivery downward or bearish would be this low. Otherwise, if this high keeps holding and it keeps trading up, then we can figure out the SBS to trade in that direction. All right, so now we have this displacement here. This is kind of rough as far as SBS goes. We close it there. 1, 2, 3 maybe. This is a little bit hard to tell. This is going to be my best estimate here. 1 with the closure above this high, 2 with this pullback, and then 3 with this new high. So in order for us to get a 4-5, we'd have to sweep this. I could also be wrong, truthfully. This could be 1, 2, 3, and then 4-5 could be a sweep here of just this low into the zone. And you know, obviously for low hanging fruit, this could be plausible. There's no, I think, although it is mechanical and seeing the sweeps, let's actually jump up a time frame and see if that clears it up. Okay, yeah, so technically we need to close above here for this high for it to be 1. But I would say, like, on the, it's sometimes it can be ambiguous when the price action is not as clean. So okay, yeah, so we don't have a close above this one. on this is it's kind of messy, but this is my best estimate here for what SBS is on this current screen. Just because we had this close above, this high right here. This would be the CSD. Bullish. All right, so again, we're not concerned with this trade coming out of this area anyway, because it's happening in Q2. Oh wait, we closed it in Q3. Okay, we can't take it until it's SBS 4 or 5 anyway, but let's just see what happens. So 3 continues to expand up. We're not getting a return, or we're not coming back to sweep 2. Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on a second. Let's pull up this OTE. So OTE is pulled from 1 to 3 once you think you have it. All right, so we can basically enter anywhere. This is 2, Q3 London. All right, so we can enter anywhere with these levels. So how we've been tracking it is we're tracking each individual trade or each individual level as a separate trade. But again, the requirement has to be SBS 2, 4, or 5. So the sweep of 2 here is now when we can actually take a trade out of this area. So now that we have the sweep of 2, we can enter on either 0.70 or 0.79 after the sweep has occurred. Let's just go down to the 1 minute really quick. So the entire sweep of 2 happened all in this 1 minute candle here. Okay, and then the 5 minute candle closed on this here. So now I feel like I recall this. We closed it in Q3. Let me get a long here. So we can enter on 0.75, which would at the minimum would be the sweep of 2. The stop loss is always going to be the low. Guys, if you guys have questions, feel free to stop me at any point. And we are going to aim for 1.5 above 3. Because we're aiming for standard deviations, we're not targeting SBS. We're only using that as a point of entry. And then let me just put another position on 0.79. Looks like the stop loss is already aligned. And then same thing, we're aiming for 1.5. So we already know this is more than likely not going to play out because we already saw where price action goes. So let's just draw this out really quick. So we have this clear displacement lower from here. This is a manipulation zone in itself. So this is Q3 Asia that we've traded above and then traded back under. This now becomes Q4 London. And we are still within this range here, Q3. So from Q3, we confirm a bullish change of state delivery. Then in Q4, we confirm a bearish change of state delivery. Is everyone following the narrative so far? So right now, it still could be 50-50, and this is definitely a risky entry to take. But it's still... we closed above this manipulation zone here, and then we have another change of state delivery higher here. We did have this small displacement after the fact, but it is struggling to close higher after that, right? So these are all cues that would tell me not to take this trade. But mechanically speaking, which again, this is kind of ambiguous for SBS. This would be the trade that we take if we're taking it, if we're taking this trade out of Q3 here. So let's see if we just get the entry. Oh, okay, so instantly stopped out in both of them. So both entries instantly stopped. Let me move this over really quick. I'm gonna just track this data really quick. Let me take this first screenshot. Move all this in. Alright, so first we need one of the narrative. So we want to see previous day high to previous day low. And because it's two different entries of 0.705 and 0.79, it will be tracked as two different trades as well. And Q. This is Wednesday, January 8th. We were trying to go long. And the entry was on this candle here. So this is 6:30. And we were also stopped out on the same exact candle, so 6:30. I need to go back and change all of this to military time as well. I'm going to take a second to do that once I track these reps. Okay, I was supposed to do that last time and I didn't. I'm just going to put 5 minutes as the minimum here. The candle that we were trying to take the entry in is the 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. candle. And we entered this trade during Q1. That was probably the sign. And the PD array we would have been entering on is this entire OB right here. OB 0.705, 0.79. Both of these would have been entry 4, and we don't have a 5. It failed. And was it in the macro? Was not in the macro. So both of these hit stop loss right away. Let me just go ahead and copy all this information. NQ. January 8th. Wednesday, long, 6:30, 6:30. 5, 6 through 10, Q1, OB. Oops. Both of them were stopped out. Both of these get -1. R. And no expansions out. And then now I can zoom into the trades itself. So this line here, which we know now this is a wick on the higher time frame, but this line here would have been the change state of delivery on the 15-minute chart, and this would have been, oh, it wasn't a wick, it was a body closure. This right here is the change state of delivery that we want to see higher. So see, after you see a CSD, it's really important to see the displacement. So like I was saying in this case here, when we got this change of state delivery, it was lacking the displacement higher up until this point. And then once we got the displacement higher, look at these closures. No body closures higher. These are all signs in which you don't necessarily want to take the trade, and you could very well be off trend. Once we got up into 1.5, to 2 standard deviations of the original manipulation that started the day. We turned right around. As you know, this area of 1 to 1.5 is the deviation it's going to hit if we're off, if we're counter trend. So, you know, just to show you, there's no form fitting here. I'm never going to form fit, but following that, we are taking a Q3 manipulation in the form of SBS with OTE. We tried to take the trade and it got stopped out immediately. There's actually nothing better than getting stopped out immediately instead of holding a loser forever. So I'm quite satisfied with that attempt, to be honest. Let me take a copy of this guy here, and then we can move on to the next rep. All right, and I'm gonna put lack of displacement. Blanking. Lack of displacement after 1.5 SD. Okay, so let me just I need to go in here, guys, and change all of this really quick. I'm really sorry to do this while you guys are watching. I meant to do this in my own time, but I'm gonna do this now. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep forgetting. If you guys have questions in the meantime, per usual, feel free to ask away. I'm just gonna change all of this to military really quick. So 150, same thing. Oops. 150. Two PM is 1400. I just want to keep the entire page consistent with one another. So like here I'm using military time, and then on the time I'm not using military time. So make it easier to understand. This is 1345. Delete 145. Can also delete 2 PM. Alright, and now this is just going to be 345. Wait, was it 345 or was it 325? Oh, it was 345. Okay, sorry, that was right. What am I talking about? 345, that's Thursday's rep. I was thinking I accidentally changed the wrong one. 325. Come on, catch up notion. Let me delete 325 here. $325, $325, $330, $850, Okay, we're good there. Let me delete all of these. Alright, and let's check. Okay, all entry times are good. Let me just go through the exits now. Bear with me. Four PM is 1600. 10. And those are already done. Okay. Okay, thank you for your patience. It's good that we got that auditing out of the way right away so that we don't have to do this when we have a ton of reps. We can do it when we have 8 reps. That's fine. Wait, that's right. Okay, let me make sure I didn't delete anything unnecessarily. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let me just adjust this to also sort by time. Okay. Alright, I'm good to go. Alright, any questions? No questions? How are you guys feeling today? We're about an hour in, so, you know, more or less a quick break here or just decompress. Feel free to drop questions. I know you guys don't like to talk to me when you guys hang out with me for some reason. No worries, Cryptic. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Eating breakfast. No worries, no worries, no worries. All good. you know, for those of you that attend and talk to me, you know who you are. I just like giving you guys a hard time. Mostly because, you know, I'm really the one benefiting here because I'm also doing the backtesting myself. So, you know, if you're gonna watch me, it's best if you at least participate in some form or another. All right, I think we're good to go. I think we're good here. All right, so now what we are working with is Q4 London. We flipped Q3 London, and we are also not displacing out of this potential Q1. Sorry, Q3 PM session. Why do I have this marked as Q1? This would be Q3 PM. Okay. I will delete this change and save delivery. Since we have flipped this entire thing. This one is holding so far. This one is not being displaced out of, so unconvincing. So this is the most important one, Q4 right now. Q3 Asia, we flipped it, traded below it. This is a key, the way we traded around this level, this Q3 Asia level, this is how, like, this is a true example of, like, support and resistance, for lack of better terms. This is how you form narrative. Alright, so now we have a clear 1, obviously. 1 displacing out of the zone. I can delete that too. We've manipulated clearly now above New York. We've taken out Asia range high. So maybe we do not get into OTE of previous day's range. We now have this deviation that we could work with. Again, being that, okay, we've reached this deviation, unfortunately. So this expansion has already, this 6 a.m. expansion has already maxed out. But with that being said, let's put this on 9:30. We could work with a future deviation, but with this clear manipulation above midnight, above Asia high, it looks like this could be high of day, and we don't get into OTE. It could play out another day. We've also reached into 1 to 1.5 deviations of the initial manipulation that happened opening the day. We got there, and then we aggressively changed state of delivery. So looks like that could be the high, and that could hold. Again, we have this clear 1 here. So we have 1. This is our 2. We want to see a 3 and then a 4, 5 of some sort. Unless 2. Okay, so now we have our 3. We cannot take this trade because it didn't return to the zone anyway, as well as it's originating out of a Q4 manipulation. Okay. This is now Q2 or Q3? Q3. It's the 3 is SBS. So now we have this sweep of 4. I mean, this sweep of 2 or SBS 4. And now we have this 5 here. It looks like. Okay, never mind. Comes back for a 5. Oh, it sweeps it. Again, 5 sweeps 4 now. Once we get to this line, that is this target being reached. Again, we can't take part in this because it's not a Q3 manipulation. It doesn't hit 3. It even goes above 4, 5. There we go. Now, so this is the target being reached. Again, we can't have fun, unfortunately. Let's see. So this is, you know, again, that narrative playing out. That's how you could have caught that trade, although it's not part of this back test. You just follow SBS, wait for the sweep of 2. You could take the entry 4. Of course, this is brutal. You would have got stopped out. Probably would have tried again here. Didn't hit the full target. Hopefully you would have trailed by then. And then 5 comes back and you do hit it. Now this is risky because we've already achieved standard deviation 5 from this manipulation in which this SBS is originating from. So this whole thing is kind of hard to trade, and I mean, look at it. This isn't pleasant to trade. This entire area right here is not pleasant to trade, but that could have been how you watch that play out. And let's see what happens now. We're coming up on another Q3. All right, so we finally tapped Q4 from London. Came back to Q3 from Asia. We are approaching Q3 PM session. Okay. We have this CSD occurring here. Now, this is questionable to me because this is an inside candle. So I'm looking for this swing low personally. This is also an inside candle. This is an inside candle. So the true change of state delivery to me occurs at this low. And we're not going to get it because it's already 6 p.m. Let's clear our charts. We now go, I think we did finish this day. For some reason I didn't track those losses, but I'm glad that we went back and tracked those losses. All right, so now same thing, new day, new framework. We are going into it as such. We have previous day high, previous day low. The previous day, just by looking at the lower time frame, right, we opened here and we closed here. So it did indeed close lower, and that is why OTE is mapping it out this way. All right, so it's marking it out from highest to lowest because we closed lower, so we're expecting another bearish close. That's a very basic way to achieve daily bias, is just by using daily closures. If you haven't studied that video by T-Trades yet. So previous day high, previous day low. We have OTE marked from previous day high to previous day low. Now we just grab our fixed range volume profile. We grab it from the previous day high to the previous day low, and then it will print out the volume, which all is within OTE pretty much. And we're opening already above EQ and within OTE range. Let's jump up into the 1 hour. It's absolutely disgusting. There's nothing pretty happening here. So we have this fair value gap that appears to be holding so far. Other than that, we just have previous day low. That is the very high probability draw at this point. There is still this outstanding SIBI above us, and yesterday, so we did sweep previous day low, but we didn't close below it, right? So we swept it and we didn't close above it. We also did not close within the range. So if I pull previous day high, previous day low from here, right, I'll just quarter that out. See, although we swept the low, we still closed in the bottom quarter, so we can still go up into this area to go lower. In my opinion, for me to think that this is a true reversal, I would have liked to see us close at least above the quarter, but indefinitely above. Like if we close above the 50% of previous day, that is a characteristic of a full-on reversal at that point. So to me, we can still reach for previous day low for sure. Just how high we go to get there is indeterminate. We can sweep previous day high to then go lower, which would be a tap into like For example, the way this played out, right? We still have we still have PM session high resting above there. We still have weekly open, and then the 1 hour SIBI is above that. So we can expand up into this area before some sort of SBS plays out. Or we can just, you know, die from here. Because we're already opening within the OTE range, is what I'm saying. So now, from where we are, this Q3 manipulation, we had one confirm right before. Or no, we did not. This would have been the manipulation that we were kind of waiting on to be confirmed. This one here. No closure, right? So that's unconfirmed so far. Still in play. And then everything else we kind of ran out. So I think we're just blank right now as far as zones go. We'll just wait for something obvious to occur. So daily open is so far here on the dotted line. A bit ambiguous, but let's see. Let me just mark this low out. We did not close it. Oops. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, so we close the CSD here. Alright, this is just Q1, so this is just the first change state delivery that we're witnessing so far. We now have this price action come down, and we swept PM session low, right? And then we displaced up immediately, causing a bullish change in state delivery here. And this is Q2. So far we have an Asia range Q2 manipulation. Here we are in OTE of previous day's range. We're above daily open now. So this expansion out is also a bit ambiguous to me. I think the most obvious one, or what I'm going to go with here so far as SBS playing out, is going to be 1. Not necessarily this, because this is all an ambiguous pullback here. So to me, it would be 1, 2, I don't know, 3 anywhere, but it can be into here, and then 4, 5 for higher into this area. So 3 so far is right there, which is not convincing at all. I'm gonna pull up OTE of this entire expansion. Alright, so the first area we can take a trade is in here anyway. We have this OB and we have this inversion. Alright, so we don't have 0.5 yet. It's possible that this is 2 and I'm just dumb. Oh yeah, well, into 0.5 would be a sweep of this anyway, which is 1. So okay, let's say I'm wrong on SBS. SBS coming out of the zone. 1, 2 would be the first pullback. 3, and then sweep of 2, 4, 5. Something along the lines of that. We do have this Q3 manipulation right here. Boom. So we don't know until we know. So this is Q2, Q3, Q2 creating the bottom of the range, Q3 currently being the top of the range. Did it take out Q1? It did take out Q1 as well, pretty cleanly. So yeah, Q3 being the top right now. Let's see where this standard deviation goes to. So this would bring us into previous day low. No, it won't. I'm lying. It'll bring us into this OB right here. Excuse me. Although unconvincing, there is this change in state delivery here. It's a little bit, it's lagging luster in this area, but we do have this clear expansion right here. All right, so this, the next thing that could play out to me is this becomes 1, 2, 3, and then we can see this SBS invalidated. Now, again, because we're already in OTE of previous day's range, I'd be more inclined to follow this one lower, and maybe just negate this idea altogether. I think that both of these expansions and manipulations look similar. So you see how we have this like accumulation occur and then the expansion once we get out of the zone. Same thing here, we kind of accumulate near the bottom of the zone and then we expand out. But this is the manipulation, or this is the change in state of delivery that's fitting the overall narrative between previous day high and previous day low. So I'd be inclined to follow this one over this one. I'll delete that. So now we just wait to see if we get the return to the zone or not. Okay, we get this nice respect of 50% Q2 right here. So I could be wrong. Now this is interesting because this would be 1, 2, 3. We have our sweep of 2, right? But we need to get into the zone in order for us to take a trade out of this. So from 1 to 3, well, 1 to 3, but it would be this entire expansion down that we're using for OTE. Okay, yeah, the zone is right at 0.705, which is the actual OTE level. Let's see if it gives us a trade. I'm going to prepare a short here. And we'll target 1.5. Okay, sorry. I'm lying, guys. We can't take this trade anyway. We've already expanded to 1.5 before we return to the zone. Can't take this trade neither. That sucks. That's no fun. I'm gonna delete this too really quick. So we're just watching this. We can't do anything. It's not the criteria that we want to see. So now we're at the 2 a.m. candle, new 4 a.m. candle. This is good thing we didn't take it. It would have just chopped. It didn't meet the criteria anyway, but that was an easy decision to make. We just don't take it. So now we're still bouncing between zones, right? We still haven't gone one way or the other, which is still making this no, we got it all the way. 1.5 is right there. So if yeah if we, so once you have this expansion out of the zone, the trade idea 2.5. Once the, like, if we don't return to the zone by the time 1.5 is reached, the trade idea is invalidated because that's already our first target. So 2.5 is still up for the taking, but we can't take it, you know, we're not going to take the trade because 1.5 is already achieved. We basically want to see our entry occur like somewhere up here, right before like the true expansion occurs. But again, like looking at this, right, Thank God we didn't, or like we weren't trying to wait for a trade, because then it just consolidated for like the next couple hours. So we avoided pain in this situation. So now, darn, it does keep going. Again, I don't think I met our criteria though anyway. So from this expansion down, oh darn. It would have hit 0.618, but we require the zone plus OTE. And the zone is actually, this is Adrian's baseline. It has to tap the zone. He's not going to take it even if it's like, even if 0.5 is like all the way down here and we're hitting 0.79. If 0.79 is not that zone, he's not taking it. So the zone is 100%, like that is the baseline requirement. So it's safe to say that this is already achieved. Like this SBS has already been completed. So 1, for you guys to kind of get used to seeing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the target, which is the sweep of 3. Why'd you say no, Cryptic? No to what? I'm open to your corrections because you did correct me on the 1.5 SD. Yeah, it launched. It just went without us. Yeah, I'm open to your feedback, because that correction was indeed correct. So I'm, I will hear you out every single time. 1 second, guys. 1 minute of silence. All right, here we go. Let's play forward. So that was a beautiful Q3 from Asia Q3. If only we caught this one. Which I guess it could be a 2, right? But then we wouldn't have 4 or 5. I think this is the true SBS here. I don't think it's this one here, because it's kind of lacking displacement. Yeah, I agree, Cryptic. People baffle me. You guys don't even they don't even show up to my back test and got the nerve. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. All right, so we're in Q2 here. So this is a nice manipulation coming out of Q3. Sorry, Q3 is right here. This is our zone. Hopefully it comes back for us and does not leave us behind. We have Q3 London now. London. So I deleted this Q3 because we flipped it. So this is Q3 Asia. Which we just tapped. We want to see it flipped. And we have Q3 here. This is obvious now. Like, no, there's no ambiguity in this one, right? 1, 2, 3. Hopefully a 4, 5 in this area. OTE of this entire thing. Then we have standard deviations from this manipulation. And where does that take us? It takes us to PM session high at 3 deviations. 2 to 2.5 is basically the deep OTE, and then 4 to 4.5 would be a sweep of previous day high. So let's see. So same thing that I was talking about earlier. So Sorry, no, that's previous day. We're on new price action now. So we have swept midnight, which is true day open here. We've taken out Asia range low. We took out the low that swept PM session low. We tapped into this inversion right here. So we've reached enough objectives that this could be low of day to possibly take previous day high instead of previous day low, especially since we got so close to previous day low without closing it. We will find out. Or it could just be sweeping this high, returning to this change of state delivery, Q3 Asia manipulation zone to go lower. Who knows? But this is a pretty clean and clear manipulation higher here, so I'm interested in seeing this go higher personally from this point. Just, do we return low enough to catch this expansion higher? Doesn't look like it right now. Oh, and then it drops. Okay, Q3 manipulation is still here. Again, we are waiting for the sweep of 2, which is going to be there if it occurs. However, we cannot take an entry until at least 0.618, or we can actually take it right at the zone in this case because the zone is below 2 as well as 0.5. So we can take it right at the zone as like the lowest hanging fruit entry. Now, I want to preface here or make a suggestion here for those of you that are taking the lowest fruit type of trades as far as your entry goes. You really do want to work hard to move your entry closer to your stop loss as opposed to moving your stop loss closer to your entry. That's a pro tip for you. Then I'll also put one at 0.618. And I'm dragging all of these up to 1.5 for now. And I'm gonna just put all of them up. Although I could be wasting my time. And then 0.79 is the last one. So we'll see which one does or does not get triggered. This is Q1 now that we're in, by the way, because we're at 6 a.m. So we're now in Q1. And we should be catching, hopefully this 4 or 5 would give us the entry to catch the 6 to 10 a.m. candle expansion. Oh, I found it. Damn. Remember earlier I was telling you guys there was a day that closed early? This is the day right here. That means I wasted all this time going over all this price action and we've already been through it. But this right here, look at it. So from 9:25, so 9:30 to 1800. So we're not going to take this trade. I know now. This is the trade that we just end up losing because I'm pretty sure I had this marked out already, but we lose it because the day closes on us. I'll play out the price action just for you guys to see, but this is not a full day of trading, so we're not going to trade this. I don't know what was on Thursday, July 9th. I mean June 9th. I cannot figure it out. We looked at the calendar. Let me check in my journal really quick, in my Discord journal, if I haven't marked what January 9th even was. But for some reason, the price action is not there. If you guys remember what it was, let me know. But it's not showing up in Trading View. See, it's nothing. It's all yellow folders. Like, what is this? What is this? Why? What happened on January 9th, guys? Do you guys know? I don't know. Looking in my journal now. I didn't trade that day. I don't have any entries on that day. Yeah, I go from January 3rd to January 20th. So I didn't trade anywhere in that time frame. Okay. Alright, so I'll just play it out. We're not taking any trades here. So consolidation. Doesn't even come to our entry that we want. It sweeps 4. I mean, it does sweep 2, but it doesn't come to the zone. 5 is the first entry that we could take. And that's right at 9, which is right before the market closes. And we get stopped out, thankfully. Okay, so see here, we have a new daily open. Boom. So the entry happens there. We would have closed in profit there. So we would have gotten this. I guess I could track that. I don't know. Hold on. I gotta see this. Yeah, okay. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Because it looks very similar to this, but this is a 4 p.m. trade. So this makes sense. We could have taken this. I don't know. You guys tell me. Should I track this trade? The only trade we would have gotten out of this is this guy right here. Right at the top of the zone. And the trade would have closed here. Because apparently that's market close that day. I don't know what happened, but that's market close. Unless, like, I don't know. Unless we did a price limit that day and I don't recall it. But I sincerely don't remember what happened. I don't know how or why. But yeah, should I track this? What do you guys think? I'm gonna vote no, because I'm lazy. Okay. Thanks. Alright, so now we don't even truly have a previous day high or previous day low. Or we do, but we don't. It's not processing. I don't know why this didn't change so far. I guess because it wasn't a full day. I don't really know, but OTE indicator is choosing not to acknowledge the previous day as a full day. This is the 9th. 1800 is here. Okay. Yeah, we're still, and then the new low. I know it is still previous day high and previous day low. And we have 1800 here. Okay, yeah, no, it's the same exact thing. Fixed range volume profile. Yeah, so pretty much same thing. So far we've traded lower. Ah, that's what it was. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Cryptic. It was the federal closure for remembrance of, or the mourning of President Carter. Thank you, Cryptic. See? You're so useful. Correcting me in all aspects. Alright. Let's see what happens here. So I just have this original deviation marked out from like the open, the most recent, since we have a new CSE right there. Nothing significant. Is literally just to throw something on the chart. I think it's safe to say we have pretty much a blank slate right now. This guy, we have a Q4 manipulation, so we have this one here that is still holding. This is a Q4 from London. Actually, guys, I'm bored. I'm gonna call it here. I'm super bored. There's only 5 of you. Do you guys want to continue? I think I'm gonna call the session here. Let's all go have fun and enjoy the sun and family. Okay, great. I'm gonna call it. I'm so bored. I apologize. We're only cutting it 30 minutes short. We normally go at least until 2, but I'm gonna call it here just because of how the day has started and unwrapped so far. I'm gonna go visit my family anyway. But yeah, cheers. I will see you guys on Tuesday night. I will actually be here, I swear. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We will resume full-time backtesting. Cheers.